What's up, guys? So it's been a while, and it's been quite a while actually. But I come to you today with an interesting idea per se. This video might be a little long, so I do apologize. You might be watching this on the PWA channel, or the FFW channel, or even the PWE channel. And you might be going, why is this video appearing? Well, it's real simple, okay? So I've been out of the game since about the end of February, I'm sorry. The end of February, somewhere in there. And I've been kind of itching to get back into this. I'm not going to lie. I miss it. I miss a large part of it. I find myself watching some of my old shows and going, man, what could have been, because PWA was really, really blowing up. PWA was getting the traction that I wanted it to get, and FFW was starting to get the traction that I wanted it to get. And, unfortunately, the way that they ended, just due to the way that things happened, that's unfortunate, but I think we all knew that at some point I would announce a comeback to it. And I'm not saying I'm coming back. I'm just saying I'm willing to test the waters. And so here's how it's going to go. A little while back, there was that owner announcement I did on the PWE channel, the PWE owner announcement video, and you saw the Shawn Michaels thing with me. And that was all cool and dandy. And I was going to leave it at that just to troll everybody. And a friend of mine, some of you might know him, Twisted. Obviously he's got that itch to be creative again. And he really pushed PWA over what was expected, graphic-wise, as well as FFW after the Breakdown Rumble and stuff, episode 6 and beyond. Those are all his graphics. It was his graphics on the podcast, on everything pretty much. He was doing graphics for everything. He did all the graphics for the house show that we did, which doing the match edit wasn't so hard. It was everything that happened in between that, like the character select screen. He went through and made each individual render, and I went and put sound effects on it and stuff like that. He made the start screen. It was really cool. But anyways, so I've kind of been having that itch to do it, and as I'm saying this, like I'm kind of twitching, like my leg is twitching, because I kind of miss it. Like I get it, like I haven't been keeping up with what's been going on in the community, and that's okay, because I normally don't follow everything in the community anyways. A lot of it's just crazy stuff, and for me it's more along the line of I enjoy wrestling. I've always enjoyed wrestling, and so it goes without saying, I feel like I have to somehow, some way, be involved in it. And for me, the easiest way is to make my own show. Now, obviously, I have both consoles. I've got the Xbox One as well as the PS4. And like I said, I've been missing it. So here's what I'm going to do. Down in the video description, there is a link to fill out a roster application, a commentator application, even some graphic and video editor stuff. I would like to see how far I can take PWE. I really would. It's a fresh start for everybody, and that's what this video is kind of outlining. It's from this point on, I'm going to go through the way that it's going to work. I want PWE to be on both consoles. I want it to be on Xbox and the PlayStation. Obviously, I'm able to do that. One of the problems before, when I was doing shows, was I would focus so much time into doing the shows that I would burn myself out, and it would cause, not just problems with friendships on the show, but it would cause problems in my counterpart relationships outside of the shows. And so this time around, it's not going to be like that. I'm going to do recording one day a week, and whatever doesn't get recorded just doesn't get recorded. I'll try for it the next week or whatever. This way I can use the remainder of the week to do edits and whatever other stuff in real life I've got to take care of, so that I'm not postponing real life events to get these shows out. Now, I would love to say my shows are going to be weekly, but I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if that would happen. I don't even know if people are going to be interested in being on the show. That's why you can fill out those roster applications. If you want to be on both shows, fill out roster applications for both shows, the Xbox and the PlayStation. And just to kind of help out with the roster numbers a little bit, I'm going to allow everybody on the show to play up to 3 characters. And before you go, wait, what? 3 characters? This is what I mean. You're going to have one character that is kind of like the opening match 1 or 2 of the card. Your mid-carder, which would be matches 3 co-main event, could possibly hold the secondary title at some juncture. And then, of course, you have your main event character. And obviously, you know what your main event character would be used for. And, you know, that I think that would be a good way. It gives everybody a chance to play with alternate characters without having to, make a whole bunch of characters. I mean, literally, I can't think of anybody who doesn't have at least 3 characters. So you get 3 different ways to play. And obviously, there'll be some changes made. If the roster number grows exponentially, then I'll be like, all right, well, everybody maybe only 2 characters or something like that. But this way, you know that you have a character meant to be not a jobber per se, but he's going to open up on the card, whether it's a pay-per-view or like a regular show, he's going to be an opener. Then you've got your guy that would hold a title like the Intercontinental title, although it wouldn't be called the Intercontinental title. And then you have a guy that could hold the World Championship. I think that's a pretty just way of doing it, and I think that works out really well. Yeah, and commentators. I'm definitely looking for other commentators to work with me. If you can't tell right now by listening in the video, I'm kind of lisping right now pretty heavily. So, that'll get taken care of within the next 2 weeks or so from the time of this video. But obviously, I would love to have other people to commentate with. I don't like running a show solo. I can do it, but I don't like doing it. It's fun. It's fun interacting with somebody else, And maybe there's 2 dudes that come in. They're like, "Hey, we're really good at commentary." They're really good at commentary, and I'm like, "All right, well, how about you guys do commentary on the PS4 side of the show or the Xbox side of the show, and then me and somebody else could do the other console, whatever." Like I said, I want to see how far I can take PWE and how much fun I can have doing it. There won't be a podcast this time around. Just because the podcast stuff, as fun as it is to do that, a podcast opens up the world to... It opens it up for a whole lot of trouble, and it's just one of those things that I can't do that anymore, because every time the show gets going good, somebody tries to attack my personal life in some form or fashion. And, I'm not all about that. And so I was sitting there, and I was actually talking to Melinda, my wife, and I told her, I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do a podcast this time, because, it just opens up that dimension that I just don't need. Or at least right now, there's no podcast involvement or plans, for the simple fact of people they abuse it too much. They abuse the Ask FM, and then they DDoS my streams and stuff like that, and that just sucks. It's a bummer. And, so... Melinda will be making a reprised role, obviously, as the interviewer, but I'm also open to other people if they have a voice for interviewing or speaking in general. I would love to have them come on board. I'm willing to work with just about anybody. There's a very select few people that I just would absolutely never work with again, ever, or not ever again, but I just wouldn't ever want to work with them. And I have my reasons, and I'm a human being, and I'm allowed to have those reasons. And obviously, this show is going to be a show that I'd hope that these people would be my friends on the show, and off the show as well. Not trying to take a jab at like Victor Morgan saying that people should be enemies on the show in real life. I don't feel like that. I mean, yeah, obviously it would make for a heated match, a very back and forth matchup, but it tends to be a little bit easier when you guys are on the same page working together. Working together for a common goal seems to work a lot better. And at this point, anybody who was on my shows previously, I would like to extend an invitation. So if you were in FFW or TPP Frontline back in the day, or PWA over on the PlayStation, if you see this video, I'm extending an invitation to you. All you gotta do is just go fill out the roster application. I know what you're capable of. I know whether you can listen or not listen. Some of you I've worked with numerous times, and if you stuck it out this long, then you know that you can listen. And yeah. The character count, because I know that some people will ask about this. The 3 wrestler count does not count. Like, let's say, here's a good example. Okay, obviously Die Hard is a retired wrestler, so he does not count against my 3 wrestler limit, because he's not an active competitor. I know we did the storyline where he came out of retirement for a little bit there, but it's just easier with Die Hard in retirement, and that's where he's going to stay. So, like, let's say you have a male wrestler that's accompanied to the ring by his wife, okay? We're going to need somebody to play as that wife during the match. So hopefully somebody's willing to do that. But that the female would not count against your wrestler count, I guess. And also, we are looking for female wrestlers. I would love to include a female division on the show. I think that's something that the CAW world needs in amongst shows. Not just like one little match. Like, they need an involved, creative storyline. And I would love to get to do that with PWE. Like I said, I want to see how far we can really take this, and how long we can keep it going while having fun. If it gets to the point where it gets too stressful, I'm going to tell people just take a couple steps back. Let's take a couple weeks off, whatever. The shows probably will not be weekly. I don't see that happening. I know I say that now, and I know once the shows start rolling, I'm going to try to push for weekly, and that very well may happen. However, as it's planned right now, they will not be weekly. They'll be just, whenever we get them done. I'd like to release them when we get them done. But, yeah, I guess if you guys get any other questions or comments, you can go ahead and put them down in the comment box. I appreciate you watching this video thus far. Remember, the link for the applications is down in the description. I'm looking for commentators, wrestlers. If you got a good hand at doing graphics or even video editing, if that's something that you might be interested in doing, let's do it. Let's start working together. Also, just throwing this out there, I am willing to let somebody book the other show. That's one thing I want people to realize. At the end of the day, I always listen to people's ideas, and I try to work them into the storylines as best as I can. But I am the judge, jury, and executioner when it comes to writing. That's just the bottom line. It's always been like that with me on my shows, and for the most part, they worked out pretty good. So if there's somebody out there that wants to try their hand at writing, well, I guess this is the time for you to fill out an application and take a chance. Or you can leave a comment down there, because I don't really have an application up for the Booker type thing yet. But yeah, so like I said, let's see how far we can take PWE, and I appreciate all the support from everybody throughout the years. Obviously, I don't get as many messages now, but I still do get a couple of messages here and there on my Xbox and on my PlayStation saying that PWA was great or FFW was great, and I appreciate all of your positive feedback. In large fault, you guys are probably the reason why I started missing it so much, and that's why I came back. And before I say my final adieu here, a tag division. I would love to have a tag division too, so if you got a tag team partner, let's make it happen. All right, so the applicable links are down in the description. Go fill those out, and if I can garner enough interest in either or both of them, hopefully, guess what? Then you'll be rocking and rolling in PWE. So each show will have its own individual name, and I'll release another update video regarding that, like the specifics, after we see what we get interest-wise from you, the community. So all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I've been Die Hard, and I will see you guys next time.